We all know to build muscle, we need to eat more protein than the average person who doesn't train. The challenge is there's that much conflicting evidence out there, you don't know whether you want to eat 0.5 grams per pound of body weight or even as much as 2 grams per pound of body weight. So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how much protein you should aim to eat each day. At the end of the video, I have a bonus tip for you and I'm going to teach you when the best time to eat your protein is. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to learn how to build muscle, lose body fat and listen to other fitness topics such as this video. The first thing is there's no one size fits all when it comes to protein. It depends on the size of your muscles, your training volume. If you do 9 sets and someone else does 18, you're going to need less protein. It depends on how lean you are. It also depends on if you have a lot of body fat. So there are all different factors to how much protein you is. There's not just one size fits all. One thing is I don't want you to ever worry about having too much protein. Always be thinking about making sure you're getting enough. Don't think, oh, did I eat too much? It's a very common myth that too much protein is hard on the kidneys. That's been disproven and debunked. It's totally false. If you're eating a lot of protein, the body will simply process and get rid of what it doesn't want. The body will use the protein it wants and then get rid of the rest. The only substance that you can put in your body that will help you repair and regrow muscle tissue is protein. While fats and carbohydrates are important for building muscle, they both won't repair muscle tissue. There's only protein that can do that, and that's why it's so important that we make sure we get enough. Having that said, this is what I recommend for your daily protein intake. So if you've been training literally just 2 or 3 weeks, you've not been training long at all, just aim to hit 100 grams of protein a day. If you hit more than that, that's okay, but I don't want you to focus too much on it. Just try and hit 100 grams a day, and that's going to be good when you're just literally starting out. Also, as a side note, that is the absolute minimum that I recommend. That's if you're someone who's just trying to get results, but you're not really that committed, you're just casually training, you're not really trying to get in the best shape that you can, then just hit 100 grams a day and be done with it. The good thing is after about 3 or 4 weeks of hitting that 100 grams every day, you've built the habit, you've built the discipline. This is when then you can start to get a bit more technical and follow the tips that I'm going to talk about in a second. If you've been training for under 2 years, then aim to hit 0.8 or 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So for example, you take your body weight in pounds and let's say you weigh 170 pounds, multiply that by 1 and then that's 170 grams of protein a day. If you multiplied that by 0.8, you would get 136 grams of protein a day. You could round that up to 140 or round that down to 130 or 135. If you fall into the overweight category or you fall into the category of someone who doesn't have abs at all, any of those 2 categories, then also aim for this range. If you fall into one of these 2 categories and you're obese or you're under 14% body fat, you can see your abs, you're quite lean, then aim anywhere between 1 gram and 1.2 grams. So you get that number and you multiply that by your body weight in pounds, and that's how many grams of protein you eat per day. This is also for someone who's been training every day consistently for over 2 years and really started to build some muscle. This is around the range for you. And if you've been training sort of 4 or 5 years or over that, and you're the type of person that's packed, 10, 20, 30 pounds of muscle on, you're a person that is known maybe in your friend group or your family as the big guy, you're a muscular guy, then you might want to go anywhere between 1.2 and 1.6 grams per pound of body weight. But again, you've got to be an advanced lifter to get to those numbers. All of these numbers are going to be the best, as I've explained, for your situation for building muscle. As promised, the bonus tip, the best time to eat your protein, in my opinion, is to disperse it throughout the meals. Now, if you're a beginner, don't focus on this too much. It doesn't matter. You don't have to eat every 4 hours and get 40 grams of protein. Although that is the best case scenario, if you ate all of your protein in 1 or 2 meals at the end of the day, that's okay. But for the best case scenario, I recommend making sure you get 30 to 50 grams of protein in your very first meal of the day, whether that's breakfast or you do intermittent fasting, and 30 to 50 grams in your last meal before bed. That's where it's going to be most important. If you want to take it a step further, try to get 30 to 50 grams in between those meals as well, but they're the most important, in the morning or when you eat your first meal if you're doing intermittent fasting, and then right before bed or sort of an hour before bed.